This is the 5 tech things that you should know about, episode number 55 for September 10th, 2010, and it's brought to you by the folks at Mozi.com. Geek gets you 10% off to backup off-site. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and you are on the 5 tech things that you should know about. You kind of like the little new looks here, there, everywhere. Let me know what you think. Joe said, hey, why don't you change up the logo a little bit? And I said, you know, I agree. I think we should change up the logo a little bit. So we did change up the logo a little bit. We moved the lights around. We moved a little bit of sound around. Hopefully everything's sounding perfect. Hopefully everything's looking perfect. Of course, if you have a question, if you have a comment, anything that you want to suggest to add to the 5 tech things, because this is your show, give me a call at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com if you'd like to email me and say, hey, you know, why don't you do this? Why don't you grow a bigger mustache? I don't know. Anyway, we can be found over on many different areas. You can get us up on Blip.tv. You can get us up on VobPod. We just got up on Vimeo, and now you can get us on techpodcast.tv. If it's tech and it's video, then it's here. We've got a lot of great places you can get the 5 tech things you should know about. And soon to come, the Day in Tech History, the video version. The video version of the Day in Tech History. Can't go wrong there. Of course, this show is brought to you by the folks at Blog World, October 14th through the 16th, if you're a podcaster, if you're a blogger, and if you are a video podcaster like me. You should be there and you should be learning about all the cool stuff. We've got the Video Podcast 101, which is Steve Garfield. We've got the Audio Podcast 101. We've got the Streaming 101. You want to learn about internet radio? It's going to be there. If you want to learn about monetizing your video, your audio, it's going to be there. If you want to learn about anything, even with your blog, we've got some great YouTube session coming up. We got a lot of great stuff over at Blog World New Media Expo, October 14th through the 16th. Be there. Get on Las Vegas. You got to go now because you only got a few more days for that next special rate before the rates start to go up next week. So go over to geekazine.com, click on the link, and get yourself your tickets for Blog World New Media Expo. All right, is your life online? You need to back it up now, back it up often, and back it up off-site. Use that code GEEK for 10% off. $4.95 a month per computer, for a laptop, for a desktop, doesn't matter the computer. I'll even show you which folders you need to officially back up and which folders you could kind of not think about there. But anyway, back up now, back up often. Use Mozi.com, $4.95 a month per computer, and it's the price of a hard drive per year, and you're saving your data. So back up now, back up often, and back up off-site with Mozi.com, and use that code GEEK. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the 5 tech things. And the first one, we're going to talk about Google. Google started a new program called Instant. And what does Instant mean? It just basically means that when I start typing in something like Geekazine, it'll start figuring, well, gee, maybe you want Go or something like that. And then there's this E after that, G-E, maybe Geek, maybe guesswork, maybe, I don't know. Then the third E comes in, it's like, ooh, geek, maybe geek. And then you get the K in, and it's like this big game show. What, like I don't know, like Wheel of Fortune or something like that. Can I get a vowel, Vanna? Please, a vowel. No, anyway, it's amazing, but once you watch the Instant on, you'll actually see the search results change and change and change. Now, Google says it's going to save you a ton of time. Once you get used to it, it'll save you a ton of time in finding what you need. And, of course, the results that you normally get, like, for instance, when I type in Geekazine, that just instantly pops up at the top. If I went to somebody else's computer and typed in Geekazine, it's never seen that word before, doesn't know that word, and doesn't know that website until it searches for it. It finds it, don't worry about it, and so search results will be a little bit different. But a lot of people are saying, hey, this might change SEO completely, because now you can start typing and go, oh, wait a minute, this is new. I want to look at this first before I continue with my search. So all of a sudden, the rules have changed, and Google's changed those rules. Now, if you don't like Instant on, you can turn it off. It's on the right side, up on top, and right next to the search. It says, Instant is on, and you just go click, Instant is off. And then, of course, you're back to a regular, boring search criteria. All right, folks, do you know what a botnet is? Most of you might, but some of you don't. That's okay. That's why we have the 5 tech things that you should know. Botnet is simple. I can create a computer that I can set up for the internet, and it's just sitting there and it's doing different things. One botnet could be looking for open computers, ways to get into websites and stuff like that, and paste their code in. Things like Wikizine and Wikipedia and stuff like that face botnets all the time because they have a very open architecture, so anybody can post to it, and therefore they start posting to it. Forums pretty much got killed because of botnets, because of the fact that they'd come in, they'd get an email address, and then they'd come in and they'd say, hey, would you like a good time? Go to this website. And if the forum wasn't upkept, then all of a sudden you had a whole bunch of botnets taking it over, and it would take forever to clean up. Well, you know, this has been a big problem in a lot of websites. A lot of people have stopped creating business because of botnets. Now, the Court of Eastern Virginia gave Microsoft access to 276 web domains from the Walletic cyber gang, which was basically a cyber gang that was a bunch of botnets. And the idea is this: Microsoft is going to use those domains to find the botnets, to kill the botnets. It's kind of like a bug spray for the internet. So, pretty cool stuff. I can't wait to see what happens. Will that reduce your spam? Will that reduce the malware that's out there? Because a website like, for instance, Wikizine.com, which is a free website for you that I'm trying to put out for you, if a botnet gets on and all of a sudden you get a whole bunch of links for Viagra, you click on that and all of a sudden you've infected your PC. I don't want that to happen. And I might just close down Wikizine and open up something more walled so you can get the content without getting these botnets going. Botnets are a big problem, especially to some of these websites that have pretty much abandoned what they did, and botnets take over and all of a sudden malware goes out. So this is a great initiative, and hopefully we'll see more protection for you and your families. All right, folks, it is bound to happen. Your phone is now going dual core. Well, dual core just came out, the Cortex A9, and then ARM decided, well, you know, that's not enough, so let's go 4 cores. So they came out with the A15. All of a sudden, Cortex A15, we can do 4-core processing in a mobile device, a phone, a game system, a tablet. Really? By this time next year, the first dual-core phones will really start to be out there. Samsung has already come out with the Cortex A9, their first version of the phone. We'll start to see that rolling in. By this time next year, you will see dual-core or even quad-core phoning, which will mean increased video, which will mean increased audio, which will mean more work from your phone than from your laptop, than from your computer. More work from your tablet than any other device. This is a very exciting time where your smaller devices are going to meet up with your bigger devices. Last week we talked about desktops going the way of the dodo. This is another reason why the desktop is going to go away, because we won't need it, because we'll have the same power in our tablets. We'll have the same power in our phones. We'll have the same power in our game systems. That's pretty amazing. Will Apple follow in that? Will Apple's next processor be a dual or quad core? It's possible. And we might have a very, very fast iPhone 5. 2.5 gigahertz for your 4-core phone. That's probably as fast as your desktop computer is right now. You know, I had breakfast with my brother and my nieces the other week. They're about 11 years old, and they were just about to get ready to go to school. The first day of school was the next day, so we sat down, had some breakfast, and enjoyed it. And my brother said something to one of the girls that kind of shocked me. It's like, well, do you have your cell phone on you? And I was like, whoa, they're old enough to have cell phones? Yes, they are. In fact, the age for getting a cell phone is younger and younger and younger. Well, T-Mobile recognizes this, and T-Mobile has a great plan. It's called Kids Are Free. If you sign up for their family plan, you can get your kids free mobile service. Now, I'm assuming that there's terms and conditions that apply. The kids probably can't get smartphones or anything like that. Kids probably can't do more than so many hours of talk time during the day and the evening. But it is going to be a great device, especially if you have a lot of kids. You have a bigger family plan than most people. So would you switch to T-Mobile, or do you need to stick on to like AT&T because of your smartphone or something like that, or do you just not like T-Mobile at all? I don't know, but this is a great setup for possibly the next version of iPhone coming to a different carrier. That's the rumor that's been throwing around, but we'll see what happens come January when it actually does happen. In the meantime, if you're looking for a family plan, you might want to take a look at this family plan, and you might even want to wait a couple weeks because maybe your plan, your carrier might see this and go, wait a minute, we have to do this too. But you got now until November 2nd to sign up on this plan because that's when everything goes back to where it was before. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, are you looking for a different plan? Is this something that's enticing? Let me know. geekazine@gmail.com. There's a bug on the screen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the common cockroach, and I'm going to tell you something. This might be your savior for the common cure for cancer. Well, maybe not. But if I said E. coli, would you be surprised? British scientists have found that the cockroach has in their molecules something that can actually ward off E. coli. Now, E. coli has been coming up in the news in many different forms. We normally associated it with meat and getting E. coli from meat. Now we have to worry about it being in our peanut butter. We have to worry about it being in our spinach. We have to worry about it being in our eggs just a couple weeks ago. So how do we cure a problem like E. coli? Because that could kill a person. Well, British scientists have found that cockroaches can survive in an E. coli environment because they have something in their molecules that basically wards off bacteria like E. coli. And they're researching it to see how we can use that for us. So research for bugs like cockroaches who can survive holocausts. I'm going to follow this in the science front. I'm pretty interested already in how this is going to work. And, maybe down the road, cockroaches will cure cancer. Maybe it won't be the cockroach. Maybe it will be a box elder bug or an earwig or something like that. Bugs have the answer, and each life form has a little bit to offer to us to figure out how we can ward off a common cold. Ward off a social disease, ward off anything like that. Be interesting to see what happens here. And that is the 5 tech things that you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.geekazine.com, tvazine.com. Please go up on iTunes and rate this video. Please go up on your favorite catcher and rate this video, whether you're up on techpodcast.tv, YouTube, or wherever. The more ratings, the better, and let friends know. The more that they know, the more that they can get in there. Until next week, take care.